there was some drug tests being done on native populations as well as part of the torture going on, and he's basically trying to punch holes in whatever the claims are being made by Kevin. And he points out the State Immunity Act. This guy is saying, again, you have to be careful. Their claim that they have a court date to sue the Pope is complete fraud. As you can see from the letter, it is impossible to sue the Pope as it is to sue the Queen. You see, the Pope has diplomatic immunity as stated in the Canadian State Immunity Act. Okay? So a lawyer will say you can't do this because this act says you can't. And unless you go and look at the act and find out what it actually says, you know, that lawyer may be reading it wrong, either because he's ignorant, or it's what he's been taught, or he's a crook. Take your pick. When you go and you read the State Immunity Act, it says nothing about the Pope having diplomatic immunity. As part of the evidence this guy's come up with is the response letter from the Pope's lawyers. Guess what? The Pope has lawyers. That's right, he has lawyers in Canada. And this is the Pope's reply. So this guy is telling the tale, all right, all over the internet, telling the tale that Kevin Arnett's a liar, you can't sue the Pope. And here's his proof. This is his absolute proof that you can't sue the Pope. And this is the lawyer's reply. All right, you've sent registered mail a copy of the claim in the above noted matter, okay, against various claims against the Pope, the Vatican, the Holy See. You should note that the Pope and Vatican State would be considered a foreign state and subject to international law with its Canadian representative, the Apostolic Nuncio, enjoying diplomatic immunity within Canada. Okay, enjoying diplomatic immunity. Service of a court process can only be made on the Pope and the Vatican in accordance with the laws of Canada, including federal statute law, common law, and international protocol. In that regard, I refer you to the State Immunity Act. We are therefore in no position to accept service of the statement claim on behalf of this foreign state. So what's he said here? All right, that the Pope is considered to be associated with a foreign state. Therefore, there's some type of diplomatic immunity. All right. Is he making a claim that you can't sue the Pope? Or is that possibly inferred? Right? And he's saying you can only serve him based on laws of Canada, etc., etc. If you are intent to continue your action, you will have to take the necessary steps to ensure proper service under the State Immunity Act. Doesn't say you can't serve, doesn't say you can't sue, says that you have improperly served. And the State Immunity Act informs you how to properly serve. So if you wish to continue, please make sure that you comply with the State Immunity Act. Thank you for your immediate attention to this, and I remain yours very truly. They're always so polite, aren't they? Honor, dishonor, right? So have they said that you can't sue? No, they haven't. And you go to the State Immunity Act. By the way, look at this. State Immunity Act. Are you a foreign state? You might want to check into this. Agency of a foreign state means any legal entity that is an organ of the foreign state, but it is separate from the foreign state. I got a question for you. If Canada is a foreign state to you, are you a foreign state to Canada? Interesting. Why is commercial activity part of the foreign state thing? Any particular transaction, act, or conduct on a regular course of conduct that by reason of its nature is of commercial character. Well, since we haven't defined what commercial activity is, and we don't know what commercial character is, that's a pretty interesting statement. Foreign state includes any sovereign. Are you a sovereign? Am I a sovereign? Or other head of foreign state, or any political subdivision of the foreign state while acting as such in a what? In a public capacity. Okay? Public capacity. Any government of the foreign state or of any political subdivision of the foreign state, including any of its departments, any agency, any political subdivision of the foreign state. And they go on and they go on. They got terrorist activity because everybody's afraid of terrorism these days. Okay? State immunity. Except as provided by this act, a foreign state is immune from the jurisdiction of any court in Canada. Now this guy is writing a blog and read this part. What about except as provided by this act? Which means that a foreign state is immune except under these circumstances. Court to give effect to immunity. Foreign state is not immune from jurisdiction of the court if the state waives the immunity conferred by subsection 3.1, submitting to the jurisdiction of the court in accordance with subsection 2 or 4. What if you're a foreign state and you waive your immunity by walking into the court and playing games with the court? Maybe, maybe not. State submits to the jurisdiction. In any proceedings before a court, a foreign state submits to the jurisdiction of the court where it explicitly submits to the jurisdiction of the court by written agreement or otherwise, either before or after the proceedings commence, or if they initiate the proceedings, or if they intervene or take any step in the proceedings before the court. What if you're a foreign state and you seem to be intervening in some matter that's not related to you? All right. Exception. Paragraph 2 does not apply to any intervention before a court for the purpose of claiming immunity from the jurisdiction. Any step taken by a foreign state in ignorance of the facts entitling it to immunity of those facts could not reasonably have been ascertained before the step was taken and immunity claimed, as soon as reasonably practicable after they are ascertained. All right. Commercial activity. A foreign state is not immune from the jurisdiction of a court in any proceedings that relate to any commercial activity of the foreign state. So if you are a foreign state engaged in any commercial activity, you have no immunity as a commercial activity. Death and property damage. A foreign state is not immune from the jurisdiction of a court in any proceeding that relates to any death or personal or bodily injury or any damage to or loss of property that occurs in Canada. Now, going back to the issue with the Indians, is the Pope implicated as a foreign state with regards to death and property damage associated with the Indians? Absolutely. Does he have immunity? Does the Holy See have immunity? No, they don't. Not under this. All right? And if they are deemed to have been involved in commercial activities, they don't have immunity, etc. So when you look at interpretations, this is what it means. It may not be what it means. And lawyers do this all the time. They will stand in court and they'll say, based on this, that, and the other thing means this. And no, it doesn't. But unless you know how to come back at it, come back with the correct interpretation, you're going to lose just because theirs is the only one standing. So I wanted to raise this because I think there's some interesting points with regards to interpretation. People screaming at the tops of their lungs about people being criminals and all that sort of stuff. And here's the evidence. I have all this evidence. And if you actually check out their evidence, it isn't what they say it is. And if you actually check out the law, it isn't what they say it says. It's like, there's just something extremely wrong with regards to those types of statements and promotions and so on.